Salam Rasapan, the Center for Development and Research and Innovation International. Our partners in development from development agencies, civil society, academia, our fellow workers in government, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. As I was walking through this hall this morning, I noticed that there were assigned tables, but beyond 9:15, I think we can waive the reserved seats and hopefully enjoy all the people in the back side of the hall to take the front seats. We will be joining intermittently by some of our distinguished guest speakers in the next 2 days. But surely, it is heartwarming to see a large number of our invitees, resource persons, to join us in this year's, or our second M&E Forum. About the same time last year, somewhere in the north, particularly at Ortega's Crown Plaza, we gathered the same number, even quite a few less, of participants. And the idea then was to jumpstart our M&E Forum, and it also coincided with the launching of our M&E network. It is high time that when we were discussing the groundwork of this M&E Forum, that we in government, and joined by our development partners as well as civil society and academia, put our resources together, our knowledge, to make sure that the bureaucracy, particularly the Filipinos, benefit from the wealth of evaluation. And as you will see in later presentations, the Philippines has now over a decade or so, or almost 20 years, of doing things on both the M&E. And what we are really in search for is a coherent policy that would ensure the sustainability of the practice and use of evaluation. And the second M&E Forum begins with a very good supportive environment. As you all are aware, the Philippine Development Plan has a results matrix, and the results matrix in turn is translated into a set of public investment program. But beyond the boredom of documents is the central element of being results-oriented, results-focused, and performance-oriented. With the issuance of AO 25, and pardon me for talking bureaucrat language, DBM and NEDA, including the Development Academy of the Philippines and other oversight agencies, have banded together to ensure that the bureaucracy does perform in accordance not only with our mandates, but the results that we have vowed to pursue over the medium term and over the annual period, to a point that we will be rewarding good performers, and I think Director Eric can elaborate on this even further, that there will be good, better, best performers, with the best performers getting, I think, relatively hefty bonus this year. So the various agencies of government are rushing up to coming up their best performance. We are supposed to meet this 90% of our deliverables beyond the other standards of governance. And we hope that this year, where we are initiating the AO 25, will instill in our minds and engender in the bureaucracy an evaluation culture. Things that we've been talking about for many, many years, and only now we are beginning to concretize. But AO 25 alone will not enable us to get the widespread and deep practice of evaluation. And this is where we are trying to make a pitch in this year's M&E Forum to craft, or at least initiate, a development evaluation policy that would guide government, including private sector hopefully, to join us in ensuring that we all draw from evaluation and benefit from evaluation to improve the chances of delivering on our development objectives, the so-called results. So what are our expectations in this second M&E Forum? As you will see in the agenda that Yas had described earlier, we have quite a menu of agenda items, a menu of topics. The idea was to be able to bring together the widest interest, but at the same time draw upon the topics and experiences of the well-chosen resource persons that we have today, including the participants from the floor. We would have accommodated you all to have your speaking lines, but because we're limited to 2 days and the budget, we are unable to cover you. But we hope that in the richness of the discussions, we will be able to participate and contribute to the achievement of our objectives. And just to cite what the M&E Forum envisions, we will continue to advocate the value of evaluation for good governance, and in this forum, hope to discuss our national evaluation policy framework to increase accountability towards its citizens. I welcome remarks as this would not be complete without giving our gratitude, extending our gratitude to our steadfast sponsors and supporters, in particular the UNICEF, who for 2 years has sustained its support, not just in words, but also in resources. I'm sure many of you have, one way or the other, also contributed to sustaining the MNE forum on its second year. I'd also like to acknowledge the contribution and support of our development partners, including civil society, for making this happen. But I guess even if we had all the resources and support to mobilize, without the high energy team led by Director Eric, this would not have happened today on the same dates that we had our first MNE forum. And Tumo, I hope you will forgive me for citing also Hamad, who continues to be a regular feature at the NEDA sa Pasig, almost haunting me. Ronnie, where are you? We need to talk to you and discuss with you. But as I guess there is a persistence as well as expectations that results can be realized. As I was about to end my my opening remarks, I cannot help but also acknowledge ASEC Stella Loriano from the Department of Finance, who also is a regular feature of the NEDA. And I would have counted many, many more of you in the audience. But we have a full day agenda, and I look forward to a very rich discussion, candid, and more than the discussion, very specific contribution to our formulating a national evaluation policy. Thank you, and good day.
Thank you.
Secretary Welcome, DDG Tungpalan, Ministerial Steel of USAID, Dr. Rasapal, distinguished presenters, discussants, participants. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. On behalf of UNICEF, Secretary Welcome, DDG Tungpalan, Ministerial Steel of USAID, Dr. Rasapal, distinguished presenters, discussants, participants. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. On behalf of UNICEF, I'd like to congratulate NEDA officials, bilateral agencies, civil society organizations, the academics, the experts, and fellow UN and international organizations who are present here today for yet another success of this Monitoring and Evaluation Forum. The presentations and deliberations in the last 2 days were so rich that I was really impressed. There was a good balance, I think, between conceptual rigors and also practical practices in the spirit of evaluation in the real world, as it was mentioned by Colin, my colleague, yesterday. Due to my pressing other engagement, I had to leave the venue after yesterday, but it was one of those workshops that I hated to leave. I'm not the evaluation specialist as such, so I feel less than adequate to speak in this forum. At the same time, as one of the managers, so to say, working in this area for development, I always try to ask myself 3 questions. Whenever and whatever issues UNICEF as an organization has been engaged in. They are, one is bottom line, and second one, proof of pudding, and third one, so what? In my own parlance, bottom line is what I consider the most important, or we consider the most important or priority in the spirit of first thing first. In evaluation term, it may be corresponding to result or indicators, as we shall measure what we consider as most important. Proof of pudding. Which to me is a reality check, so to say, as to whether we are actually delivering expected deliverables or not. It may correspond to quality evaluation, planned very in advance, as you have said during this forum, and not afterthought. The last one, so what, is whether the deliverables we helped deliver have made any positive and also meaningful changes to the lives of concerned people for whom they were intended. And in the case of UNICEF, their children. It will also include actions that ensure for follow-up and also learning that we acquire in the process, which should help us to continue to improve what we do. The presentations and also the deliberations in the last 2 days are so pertinent to all these 3 points, and I personally learned a lot. I also think this event happened in a very timely manner, or it was so planned, of course, that the result can very naturally feed into the review of the Philippine Development Plan and also related instruments, and also formulation of the National Evaluation Policy Framework expected sometime next year. As it is, it serves as a very good prelude to the symphony that is going to ensue in the next year. On our part, UNICEF as part of the team will continue to support strengthening of the national M&D framework, as we believe it will play such a pivotal role in terms of clarifying the bottom line, proof of pudding, and also the question of so what. We expect it to serve as one of the main forces behind further improvement of the lives of children at a scale level in the Philippines. Once again, my wholehearted congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to our continuous interaction and collaboration, and also meeting again in the third M&D Forum next year. Thank you.